I want to talk about really and address authenticity because I think, in all honesty, I think that's the thing that actually terrifies people the most. On the one hand, people are just inherently terrified to be themselves in a world where there's so much judgment. So they end up becoming sheep, mirrors of whoever they consider more prominent. On the other hand, it's intimidating to be around people that are authentic when you know you're wearing a mask. Because that's really a serious thing. So, for instance, anyone sees my content or witnesses me, I'm just myself in everything I do. And people approaching me is probably quite intimidating sometimes because they know I'm very quick to cut people off. And I'm like a human lie detector. So, the thing with me, and this is why authenticity is so important, you're just better off being yourself. But if someone approaches me being fake, then they've lost any opportunity to interact anyway, because it's just so pointless. 'Cause some people might overthink. They think, "Oh, I've got to be this, you got to be that. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I've got to make sure I'm ready." And all. It's like, yeah, you got to do anything. You just got to be yourself. Just be genuine. You don't have to put a mask up. You just got to literally talk from the heart, be honest, and then it's all fine. Because with me, it's the two biggest things with me is disrespect and lies. I don't handle it at all. I don't like it. For me, it's when people lie, for me, that's one of the biggest disrespects you could do. Like that actually bothers me. I think it bothers me a lot more than it bothers many other people because many other people have learned to accept it, and it's almost like it's normal. For me, it's not normal. I don't like it. It's that all I ask for people is to be upfront and honest because I actually am very balanced and I understand deeper reasons why people do things. So I don't always hold them as accountable as maybe people would expect. I recognize we're all on healing journeys. So we have moments of weakness. We have moments where we've got to heal. We have moments where we've got to take a time out. We've got to take a detour in our life. We've got to go and do something because we're not ready for a commitment. You're not ready for this situation. So I actually understand deeper. I still hold people accountable, but it'd be far better for people to be transparent with me than it is for them to tell me a story that's fabricated. Um, or they try to lessen the blow or something. It's like it's not doing anyone. That's just doing a disservice to a connection. Just be honest, and then we know where we both stand. Um, because the problem is, if you're lying, then you're disingenuous. So now I can't trust you because if you lie about that, even if you think it's minor, it's like what else you're lying about. I'm not playing that game. That's too much of it. That's too much. I'm not playing that game. If I can't trust you, then there's no connection anyway. So trust is everything, isn't it? Trust is built on authenticity, being honest. Um, and like I say, most people are actually terrified of their own shadow, let alone open up about to other people. With me, I'm as open as I don't. I'm as open as anyone can possibly be. I have, like we all do, I have various sides to my personality. I'm not a one-trick pony. And I think when I watch people, I recognize they put on a character and they play that character. So people around me, I think, would be quite shocked. In all honesty, my character is such that if I'm around a group that actually I enjoy their company, I can be very goofy, very whimsical, very light. You would actually, you people in those situations inherently wouldn't understand how confident I am. They wouldn't understand. They wouldn't recognize, in most parts, they wouldn't recognize how intelligent I am. Philosophical. There's just so many layers to me. It's like you see that side, you just think, like, he's fun. They're fun. And silly and things, but they wouldn't think any more of that. They probably even try, as has happened in my life, they try and pigeonhole me and keep me small, and it just gets annoying because you're like, oh, this is just ridiculous. But so that's maybe that is why people put on the character because they just want to appear powerful. I have no interest in being powerful. I just want to be me. Um, and that part of me doesn't go away. It just only comes out when when it finds enjoyment. When I do these videos, for instance, that's my professional side. This is me being professional. I'm serious because to be professional is a serious moment. If and I'm on my own. if I'm with someone, then I'll bounce off them, and it'll be depending on who that person is and the vibe as to whether it's light energy or not light energy. So you've got a professional side, you've also got a very silent, and silly side. There's also a very stubborn, stoic, resilient side. So I can switch quickly. And that's just because that's my personality. All of these are my personality. I'm fun and free spirited with people who I enjoy their energy, and I don't feel I have to protect myself. With people who test me or I feel disrespect me, I switch very quickly. So I could be having a great time with you, but if I recognize you're trying to abuse me in some way, and I pick it up quick because I tend to, all of a sudden a switch just goes in me like boom. And you will find I am the most stubborn person you'll ever meet. I am quick to cut people off. I do not have insecurities in that way. I don't mind beating to my own path. And again, that's a part that people have trouble with. Because I can be a people person, I can be really like the life of the party. Some people misconstrue that thinking I seek attention. And of course, an attention seeker means that they need people to feel comfortable and happy. And they don't realize how independent I am. You know, I can shut this shit down straight like as fast as it started. You know, and I'm fine. So when I cut things off, people actually it tends to shock people, to be honest. And then I think people that have maybe done something in the past that they are inherently very nervous to step forward again because they know I'm looking at everything with a fine tooth comb. I'm seeing flaws in. I'm seeing flaws in a situation before they even speak. So, but like I say, the best thing anyone can do is just be honest. Just be honest. Talk from the heart. Be open. In most cases, the past is the past. So another side of me is I can be quite confrontational, but I'm actually less confrontational now than I was in the past because now I've decided it's through growth. Now I just cut people off quicker. So rather than be confrontational, for the most part, if for me, rather than get my point across and getting big arguments and it extending to anything else, it's kind of like if I'm done with someone, I'm done with them. I don't really waste my time anymore. So people can perceive arrogance, whatever they want to do. I just haven't got time for bullshit. So if I perceive someone as a problem or we're just not aligned, I can argue with the best of them. But sometimes I'm like, I just don't even want to waste my time with this shit. So I just block them. I just move on. Um, so inherently, of course, like I say, there'll be people that are maybe a little bit nervous because they probably think they've got to prepare. But I think personally, the more you prepare for something, sometimes is the less liberated you're going to be, and less yourself. It's a bit like these videos I do. You know, everything I do, I have a topic in mind, and then I just run the camera. I've got no notes, I've got nothing on the screen. It's just me and myself, like a mirror almost. You know, I've got the software up open where I can see myself. I wear my noise cancelling headphones just to shut the world off because it allows me just to focus on myself and what I want to talk about. But that's all I am. You know, there's no external shit. There's no notepads. There's no anything. I just think, and I free flow because it's just whatever the topic is, let's talk about it, you know? It's like there's no game. I don't have to have a game. I don't need to do any of this shit. But some people, they just overthink it to the point where they become unnatural. You don't need to do all that shit. You just need to have it. Like, for instance, if you talk to someone, you just need to be able to be like, be yourself, be transparent, be open. And then it's up to, whenever you have any interaction with someone, it's like there's two parties involved, isn't there? There could be more, but overall, it's like you don't need to involve loads of people in conversations. So even if someone was to walk away and they say, I'm not interested, it's like, okay, that just ends that cycle. We are the main character of our lives. So, for instance, someone could approach me and I could say, look, I'm not feeling it. I think it's time to call that quits. I think it's best we just go our own path. To me, that's not personal. It's just, this is my path. This is your path. And then effectively, it's like, don't be too downhearted because you've got your own path to do. You're the main character. To be the main character. Likewise, I may say, you know what, I like your honesty, and I think we can, I have a lot of respect for you, and you don't know how that turns out. You know, maybe it does go positive. But the problem is, I think when people overthink, they stop becoming themselves. because they're trying to live up to an expectation that maybe the other party isn't even expecting in the first place, you know? And it's kind of like, that's not what someone wants. It's just crazy because it's like sometimes people they change, you know, and they change because they think that, like, for instance, you may get in a relationship and then you think, oh, this person wants me to be this, they need me to be that, so they start adapting themselves. That's not the person they fell in love with, you know. Just I always say this, and I think this is where it gets lost on people. Our flaws are our quirks. Our quirks are what makes us endearing. It actually separates us from other people. So you can look at your flaws and have insecurities, or you can look at your flaws and think that you're special. That's how I treat myself, you know. I know people see my stubbornness, my confrontational nature, and how blunt I am. I know some people consider that a weakness, you know, they'll judge me for it, but I love myself for it. That allows me to be so resilient, you know. I don't put up with bullshit, and it makes me strong because I can walk away from things and it truly doesn't even bother me. Just turn and walk the other direction, you know. I'm all right on my own. I'm good with me. It's like me, myself, and Irene, isn't it? It's like me, myself, and I. But no, it's what it is. It's like so hopefully there is special people that can come on the journey and they'll stay in my life, but maybe they won't. It just means you're not aligned, or they can't handle it, or something, or they've still got some healing to do. Um, and it's actually really refreshing when you meet people that just speak their mind. I hate this pittering pattern around people. I don't like it. I prefer just to be direct. It saves so much time, and you get where you're going. You just get where you're going faster, and you know where each other stands. You know, I have a lot of respect for people like that. Doesn't mean our personalities will always align. It might be that we're a bit too different, but I respect the fact that you just wear your heart on your sleeve and you're saying how it is. That's great. Um, it's refreshing in a world where so many people hide things. It's like I say, people may see me in the future or any situation, and you might think he's wearing a mask because look, he's behaving like this here, and then he's doing this here. It's like this is my personality. It's who I am. At my core, I'm a very silly, funny, goofy person. In my school, but it's not just school, of course, I had it everywhere I've gone. I've had people shouting my name across buildings, you know, the warehouses and things because they just love my company. That's not me boosting anything, it's just what it is. Or my, book when I finished high school, I didn't have loads of people fill it, but a few people signed it, and for the most part, it was always, "You're the funniest person we've ever met. Funniest person we've ever met." You know? So I have a lot of humor in me. You don't just lose it. You can have things suppressed, but it's not suppressed in me at all. It's just I just reserve it for moments when I'm truly enjoying myself, you know, or when I'm around the right company. So the point is, I could be on a TV show, for instance, and maybe they think they're going to get this really, really serious, philosophical person, but it might be I really enjoy their company and we just have a laugh, you know. And it's like this is not maybe something people anticipate, but it's like I'm just myself, you know. If I'm enjoying myself, I'm enjoying myself. But when I've got to be serious, I'm serious. And when I have to set boundaries and be confrontational, I'm an assertive. I'll do it. It's like it's all part of me. It's like it's not a case of I have to. Oh, I'll act this way now. It's not, no, no. If that's how I feel in a moment, it's boom. That's how I feel. So like I said, I think people can overthink, but then they stop becoming themselves. So it's truly refreshing when people are authentic because for me it's not something growing up or anything that you're sort of looking. And I think that's the thing when you grow up, you have ideas of like qualities you look for in people and things, and you think I want someone that's like this, I want someone that's like that. But the more you grow through life and experience so many people, the connections you have, the interactions, you just realize that a lot of time it's qualities you wasn't even thinking about are actually so important because you didn't realize how scarce they were. And it's for me like authenticity, being honest, um, high values, all these things. It's like wow, that's so rare in a world that's toxic. It's crazy. That's what I seek in someone, in people around me. Um, yeah, and I hold people to a high standard because I hold myself to a high standard. So effectively, what I seek in people is what I seek in myself. So I like people with humility, to have compassion for other people. They can look beyond the veil of, you know, they can look beyond things. I like that. I don't like narrow-minded people, or at least in my close circle. It frustrates the life out of me when I'm around people who are just so obnoxious and oblivious to the rest of the world. So they live in a little bubble where they're pretentious and they just don't care about anything else. And it's like that don't align with me, you know? That don't align with me. I can't be. That's too short sighted. I like people that expand their minds, and you have an ability to look at the bigger picture. So, like I say, I'm quick to cut people off, but I have a lot of compassion and I have a lot of understanding of people's situations. Doesn't mean they come on my journey, but I understand. It's not, like I say, it's not personal. Because why waste your time anyway? And it's the same for someone else. Why try and go on a journey that's not for you anyway? You know, maybe you get attracted to this or attracted to that, but it's like pave your own path. And it's like hold people accountable in your life, and you'll get your success and you'll get your tribe. You know, it's just the way it is. It's like effectively, though, it's be comfortable on your own. But like I say, I've got so many sides to me that I think because my content is solo, people will get an impression. I'm not going to say it's a false impression because they just get a one-dimensional impression potentially. They're not seeing all of it. Um, like for instance, my daughter gets to see all of it. Of course, you know she gets to see me silly and goofy, which is how most of the time. So, for instance, if we're doing a live chat, um, we'll be for 90%. 90% we'll be of the time we'll just be silly, laughing our heads off, mocking each other up, just doing stuff, you know, just being silly. There's times when I'm assertive. There's times when I'm serious and I'm more philosophical, and I'm a little bit deep, more deep than she wants. I think sometimes I drive her nuts and bore the life out of her. I might say something she's heard it before, and it's like, oh, just listen. But no, my humor can be quite sarcastic sometimes. Like for instance, I was using tarot cards with my daughter the other day, and I was asking my guides, "Do you think I'm funny?" There was actually within their response was like a dark connotation. One of the cards, I can't remember exactly what it was, and I thought, "Oh, you don't like my humor. You don't like the fact that sometimes I'm a bit." When you're a source of light, it's better to be peace. So it's better to be kind, of course. But my humor can be quite sarcastic, and I can also um, sort of mock the person I'm playing on with, like, you know, and I find it hilarious. There's just certain things, and I recognize from their point of view, it's like you don't need to be doing that, and it's like no, but it's funny. No, but it's fun. So yeah, I get it, and I knew what they were doing. It was like, oh, maybe in time I won't do that so much. In fact, I'm doing that a lot less than I did in the past, but I still find it funny. Um, so again, it's just the layers, isn't it? It's like who we are. Um, but like I say, I think sometimes when I do my videos, I think of a specific person, for instance, and I'll think, like, what do I want them to understand? That's sometimes where I come from, and it keeps me centered because I'm thinking, but then I try to make it as broad as I can to help other people. I get a lot of signs in my life about this situation with this, and it's like, oh, that frustrates me because it's like all I want them. I just want to shake them, you know. I just want to shake them and say, look, stop thinking too much. Stop making everything overwhelming. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. I think about a potential relationship, for instance. I talk about it a lot. I'm not trying to preempt anything. If I just follow my path, you know. It's like if it's ended and I'm seeing something that it isn't, it's like that's fine because my life will continue to move forward. I'm in a period where I'm available. There'll be a period in my life in the future when I'm not. Because I'm not going to hold myself to bound to a situation that didn't happen, am I? I mean, that'd be ridiculous. It's like if I meet someone that excites me and I feel romantically inclined to them, then I'm open to it. But I'm incredibly loyal. So whoever I am with, that's where my loyalty lies. Unless the relationship falls apart and you end. I'm not someone that would ever cheat. A relationship would have to end for me to then even consider instigating a situation. So I'm not someone that would be in a relationship and then if I think, oh, that one's pretty or that one's got a nice personality or we're vibing, or I'm going to jump away, I'm going to go and do shit. I wouldn't do that because that's disrespectful to the other person's life you're with. You know, I couldn't even go there. that the only way something like that could possibly happen is if, look, that made you think, you know what, this relationship isn't quite what I thought it was. I don't think we can get back to where we are because I'm recognizing through that person how how different we are, or something. You'd have to think about it deep enough, and then you'd have an honest conversation, and it'd have nothing to do with the other person. The other person just made you reflect upon it. And then if the relationship then it ends, it would take time to transition beyond that relation. And that's how I am. It's not. I wouldn't just jump into something, and it wouldn't be the reason. For the most part, if I'm with someone, unless you really outgrow someone, I think you just grow together. So yeah, what I would say is there is the person I absolutely got my eye on, and I just get on my days too. Like, I don't over obsess about it. It's just there's periods when I think about it, and then it depends, and it's like for the most part though, I just continue doing what I'm doing. I'm so busy a lot of the time. Um, but what I would say is in some ways I've put this person on a pedestal, and as confident as I have insecurities just like everybody else does. You know, it's like you imagine the fairy tale, of course. You imagine life being this way. You imagine a relationship being incredible, and it's like this person's great, and I know together we could have an incredible life. But I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to be a disappointment for them. So the what problem is, someone puts you on a pedestal. It's like, how do I don't want to. That's a lot to live up to. Um, Inherently, though, I'll just get on with it because it's not about. It's looking beyond that. It's not. I can't worry about disappointing or not disappointing someone. All I can do is be myself, and if I'm not enough, I'm not enough. It's like that's just it. I can't be more than me. There's no point. There's no point. It's like I am me, and if I'm disappointing, then I'm disappointing. If I'm not, then I'm not. And that's what I'm thinking here is if someone's overthinking it, worrying they're not good enough, and they'll be disappointed. I think sometimes you just got to allow someone to figure that out, though. And I don't know. You can't preempt anything. You can't make things happen. Um, but yeah, I don't think everybody's always got everything figured out. It's like life isn't that simple, and we all have something we're vulnerable with. I'm not saying insecurity. I mean, it can be an insecurity, but let's say you've healed an insecurity. I mean, there's still a level of vulnerability within us. Everyone has that, and I think especially when it comes to matters of the heart, that's where we're at our most vulnerable. Um, but yeah, so with me, I wear my heart on my sleeve because honestly, I don't care what people think of me. I talk about it all the time because I just genuinely don't. It doesn't affect me. Too many people are worried about this. People are very short-sighted, narrow-minded. That's just inherently the majority of people. So if you've got a load of people that cast the judgments and aspersions on you, it's like, yeah, but who are these people? That most people are sheep. They're not even themselves. So they project onto you because they think, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. It's like, what, you're perfect? How many people are perfect in this world? I don't even know if it's possible. I actually don't think it's possible for someone to be perfect. We're all going through healing something. We're all going overcoming something. I've just got to sort this camera out. I think it's gone blurry. Um, So yeah, I don't really care because it's like you could sort of like say, "Oh, you're this, you're that," and it's like, yeah, but what's in your closet? What's your What's your problem? So I'm quite outspoken, and someone might say you're too outspoken, and it might be I cross a line onto one topic, but it's like, okay. Why does it bother you so much? Why does my opinion have that much significance on your life? Why can't you just turn around and say, "Well, this guy's ignorant"? Let's say it's something like that. Let's say you make a statement, someone doesn't like it. Why not just put it down to ignorance and arrogance then? Why have you got to try and be overbearing to them? But yeah, I'm hoping one of the things I really instill in people is to be themselves and don't be so scared to just go with the flow. Don't make notes. Don't overthink and just always talk from the heart because then it's like effortless. The weight is gone. It's literally gone. You just have a conversation with someone. If you're not sure what to say, let's say you preempt something and you're not really sure what to say, sometimes you've got to wait to have the conversation then. If you just sit there and try and write notes or something, you try and reach out to someone and you've been thinking for ages, you keep deleting everything, you don't know what you're saying. It's like maybe the reason you don't know what you're saying is because you're not actually speaking to the person yet. Maybe wait until you actually, maybe just introduce an introduction and then actually have a conversation with them, and then it'll flow what you want to say between both parties. Yeah, I don't want to get too personal with it, to be honest. I had a little epiphany, actually, weirdly enough, about this situation with the person I like. Um, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to go too personal with it. But we was talking back in 2021, um, and different countries, completely long distance. They were going through a lot. I was supporting them through it, helped them through huge crises, which I was just doing just to help be a guiding light. Really, it's fine. I think 2023. So I left TikTok at one point. I think 2020, 2022 some point. I can't remember. I think it was around about autumn. And then I come back a year later, and they were in a relationship. And now that I think about it, because I'm thinking maybe they went their own way, maybe they just, it's just I weren't there, so they just assumed. Although they had my contact details, I'm not too sure about, just because I weren't on TikTok. There was only one way of reaching out. But maybe the less content I was creating, the less they were seeing of me, it wasn't so. It was easy just to ignore me, just pretend I didn't exist or something, or it wasn't real. I don't know. I mean, I'm only sort of playing it a little bit here, thinking it out loud. But it might help people going through similar things. And then I think about the person. I don't know who the person is that they ended up dating, and it's like that's their thing. If they're still in a relationship with them, for instance, then that's fine because I'll meet my person. It's like, again, I'm not interested in destroying things. If you're in a situation, then that's your situation. So I'm not here to break that up. Then that means my person's coming somewhere else down the line. That's fine. But it got me thinking that I wouldn't be surprised actually if this person who they end up dating knew of me, because to be honest, me and this person had a deep connection, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can. I don't know if that is the case because I never thought it was the case, but now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if they confided in that person, and then that person talked them out of way. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's happened here. Because some guys are really sleazy like that. Let's say, well, yeah, I'd call it sleazy. Other people just say, well, it's just an opportunity, man. I was there. Where were you? All that sort of shit. I say, oh yeah, you play your games however you want it. But if someone's heart's pulling in a certain direction, and whether you've twisted their arm. So it got me thinking. I wonder if they knew of me because they were confiding in them, and then that person become their source of support and coerced them really to see that you got to get on living your life, man. You can't keep waiting for something, even though it weren't even waiting. It was like it was on a healing period. I don't know. That's me. Again, I see. I'm open minded. I think things through. Yeah, life is a funny one. But at the end of the day, you only have for the majority of our life, we only have ourselves for support. You can only trust yourself. So if you're not a true, honest version of yourself, it's like that's going to be a really lonely experience to sit with a mask. Because how do you live up to that? I mean, I can only be philosophical about it because I've never done it. I've never been anything other than me. I don't give a shit. Even through childhood, I've never cared. I was weird I wouldn't say I was weird, but I was different in childhood than everybody else around me. I never understood why. The more I get older, I see it. I always wondered why I didn't really have a lot of close friends, for instance. And I thought I'm a really fun person. Everybody gravitates to me. Let's not say everybody, but I'm really popular when I meet people. Like I say, people call my name. I get on, have a lot of fun, laugh, and make people laugh, and it's like, and I open their minds to things. It's like really great. But then it's like I'm thinking in my personal life, why is it I never really had a lot of people around me? And as I go on my journey through life, I recognise that's not my path. My path is always to outgrow the circumstances, even though I'm not doing it to be better than anyone else. I just inherently outgrow circumstances. So that meant I was never really in situations for long periods. So it was always meet this group, help them change or learn something from the situation, keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving. So now it's just so you grow through life and you think, oh, it's not so personal, really, is it? It's not so personal. It's just my life. That's great. That's fine. But yeah, even in childhood, I was so stubborn. It was ridiculous. Um, I would play football, like soccer, after school. I'd do it at school after school sessions. We'd do go to the park. We'd do things. But sometimes it's like people would say, "Oh, do do you want to do this at the weekend? I'd be considered boring, but I don't give a shit. I'm not into that shit. I don't want to. So, for instance, people might start saying, even at high school, like, do you want to come and do this? We're going drinking and shit. No, I'm not interested in that shit. Or, yeah, do you want to do this at the weekend? No, I don't. I'll see you Monday. I was always invited to things. It weren't like I wasn't invited to things. I just always said no to things because I just beat to my own drum. It's like, if I don't want to do something, I won't do it. Um, it alienates you to a point because it makes you look different. But it's like, it never made me, if I was, I'd consider it a weak. If I was weak or I was easily coerced, and of course, at any of those moments, I would have given in, wouldn't I? And I would have just surrendered. But I've never surrendered to anything, never in my life. Even with all the peer pressure at school, even with the peer pressure from my family, every one of my family, apart from me and my mum, smoked cigarettes. So I've had situations where I'm around my siblings and things, and they're making me seem like the ridiculous one who doesn't smoke. And I'm like, it doesn't even tempt me in the slightest. I've actually really enjoyed being resilient. It makes it when I'm around weak people, it makes me realize how powerful I am. And that's not me going, oh, I'm a superhero. It's just I just recognize the level of resilience I have is just far superior to those that are feeble. And yet they think they're strong in numbers. I'm looking at them like, you're so weak, it's unreal. You couldn't even possibly sit. That's what I said to him. I say that to him as well, and it winds him up. I'm like, do you think it's really powerful and big to be able to do that? And because while you're outnumbering me, I said you wouldn't even be able to sit here and do what I do. So it's like behave. But yeah, so I've been like that since childhood. I've been through that since my teenage years. Been like that through my 20s. Like I had people, for instance, I'd work with, and they'd say, "Do you want to come like clubbing or something at the weekend?" I was like, "I'm not into that shit." No, no, no. I'll just see you Monday. And like some of the guys you get on with and stuff, they're doing all that shit, and I'm not. I'm just doing my own shit. I just don't care. Never have. Um, people can form narrative, form opinions, but it's like I'm not here to be someone's toy. For me, my energy gets drained around people. Like I love being around certain groups of people, and I can have so much fun. But I do need time to recharge. I need time to myself. It's just the way I've always been. I've never understood why, but I've always recognised I need that. I can sometimes be absent, especially when I was younger. I think in younger you're not doing it on purpose, but people are taking advantage of you more. You give you more of yourself than you should. I have stronger boundaries now, but in the past, yeah, I'd be like absolutely exhausted on the bed, and it'd be like, this is crazy. I'm absolutely wrecked, and it's just because people drained all my energy. So now I just pull it back a lot more. Um, so yeah, I've got the. I think that you could call it the hero's journey, but it's like a solo journey for the most part, and it's like living life on my terms, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's like I don't. The thing with me is, and it's genuine. I'm authentic. If I wasn't doing it, I'd say something else, wouldn't I? I'm being honest because that's the honest answer. I don't have I don't have regrets. And I think that's a rare thing as well, because most people do. But then you think, why do you have regrets? They have regrets because they were fake. And it's not just that they were fake and wearing a mask and being something that they're not, just to try and fit in. It's that by doing so, they made decisions that weren't aligned with what they actually wanted to do and who they are. So they make bad decisions. And then they look back and go, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I wish I'd done this. I can't say at all anywhere in my life I have regrets. I've walked away from jobs because they reached a natural end for me. It reached a point. The jobs I've walked away from, they either were a stepping stone towards something better, or it was holding me back from something I want to do. So I don't regret walking away from any jobs, no matter the money involved. Money's just money. You can get more money. So I don't care about that. When I think about even through childhood and things, and you're going, oh, okay, I went to college. I was going to do this course. I stopped there, and I weren't interested anymore. That was a natural conclusion. I'd done it. I was done learning. It was like, I just want to get on living my life now. This is done for me. I'm not doing it. I'd rather just pave my own path. And literally, that's what I've been doing ever since. It's like I'm just beating to my own drum. I'm just learning from experiences. And the more I go through those experiences, I recognize there's actually a lot of beauty in it. Like, why am I attracted, for instance, to warehouse work? I've done most of my life's been warehouse work. Apart from what I do now, I'm far more academic, if you like, far smarter. But no, I've always been attracted to warehouse work, and it's not the job itself's okay. It can get mundane, it can get tedious. Um, you just learn new skills, new parts of the processes and stuff. But it was never the work. Although the work's fine, as long as I'm busy, I'm okay. That's my mind. So it's like if my mind's so I'm someone that has to have my mind busy, otherwise I get really fed up and bored. So if my mind can't be busy, then you've got to give me something really physical to keep so I don't have time to think. That's what I'm like. You give me time to think, and I start going downhill fast if I'm bored. Um, I don't like it. But within warehouse environments, for instance, there's just so many people, and it's so diverse. And I look at my life and where I've been and where I'm going, and it's like it couldn't have been any other way. It was like a humdrum of experience. You're literally learning from watching so many people and interacting with so many different cultures and people. It's like you're just rapidly learning from people because you're literally just all we all just put in a box really, and it's like just all got to get on together. It's great. Um, and I love that because you get the shy ones, you get the ones that keep to themselves, people that don't really talk to anyone. You get people that form their little cliques. You get people that are really outgoing and they're fun. You get people that are overly ambitious, so um, they will try to sabotage other people to be successful. So some people walk around thinking they're better than everyone else, even though they tend to not be, but they've just got this weird, elevated opinion of themselves. You get some incredible leadership who really do support their staff, and they're personable, so you can go to them with things, and it's great because you can have a conversation. And yet you get some leadership up their own asses. They're incompetent, but they just like to wield power. And I've seen all these different diverse situations. People that are incredibly selfish, they don't support each other, and other people that are selfless and they'll really support you, and you work together, and it's great. So effectively, in those little bubbles, you start to find the ones you like. I gravitate to ones that are similar to me. So the leaders who are supportive, they have humility, and you can talk to them. The people that go out their way to support people, and it's like you're doing it just to be kind. You're doing it to be fair. You're being it nice. That's what I'm drawn to. So, for instance, I was even when I didn't have to do anything, other people just stand there waiting for something to do. I would jump on the back, even though it's not even my role. Sometimes I'd see the guys, they've got a lot to do, and it's like this container that needs to be handballed off, and it's really heavy shit. And I'm watching them, and I'm like, I'll come, I'm like just jumping on the container with them, and then the team leaders are sort of looking around, going, "What's he doing on there?" And then sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. It's like, "Oh, just let me do it." Or I might turn around and there's maybe one guy trying to do it all on their own, and they're struggling. I'm like, "Wait, dude, I'm coming, I'm coming." And I think that's great. I think that's great. I think, I don't get anything for it. If anything, I just get more aches and sweat. But I think it's nice to support people. It's nice to be helpful. But I do that because that's my personality. That's who I am. Sometimes people take exception. I had team leaders complaining that I'm leaving my station where there was nothing to do to go and help another side of the business where I'm jumping on the containers. It was literally the team leaders on that side were really appreciated my help because I'd worked there previously on that department. And my team leaders were getting angry that I'm leaving their station, even though there was nothing to do for about an hour or so. How thick is that? That's just because of ego trip. So I had arguments over things like that. The hell, what's the problem? Jesus. But that's the thing though. But it's like sometimes our working environments, they teach us a lot about ourselves, but other people too. But I won't let someone dim me. I won't let someone intimidate me. I walked away from that job. Actually, it was a little bit later. I've read about it in one of my books. It was, I said before, because the team leader was just getting funny. He was always making remarks, but never directly to people. So, when they get angry, but they don't say who the person they're angry with. So they're shouting they're moaning at everyone. And you're looking, thinking, I think he's pointing at me, but I don't know. He's not saying it. So I had a personal conversation with him and said, look, you're talking about the work plan. We have to check the work plan every day, but I don't understand because like we're doing well over in our department. Why are you shifting us? Why? He goes, oh, no, I'm not moving you over there because I know you really like it there. And I know the team's doing great. So we keep it. We're not going to change that. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool then. Because I said, if I was over there, I said I'd leave. I said I'd quit because that's too much. Like my back, I can't. That's ridiculously heavy over there, and it's It's relentless to the point where that's not fair for anyone to work in that environment. He goes, oh no, I wouldn't want that to happen. I won't do that. And then, I kid you not, within a week or so, not even sure it was that long. I looked at the deployment. I went in the morning. I went, he can go fuck himself because I ain't doing that. He knew what I already said about that, you know. So I went in, I carried on doing what I normally do, even though I knew I weren't following the rules. But I thought, I ain't following the rules if you're going to be a knobhead. You've already told me you won't do it. And then later on, he was getting funny, but not to me directly, using other people. That's the thing. I don't have the guts to challenge it face to face, you know. So I was told to go. First of all, actually, his little team leader, the partner, well, I don't even know if they got on or not, asked me to do something. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I had to load a container on my own. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Or a trailer with pallets. So I said, yeah, I could do that. So I'm getting on, helping him out. He's like, oh, thanks for that. And he's really appreciative, you know, genuine appreciation. I was like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. And then later on, someone else asked me to go over to the department. I said, I don't want to do it. And I said, why am I going over there? And I said, I'll go there for a minute, but I'm not staying there. So I went and did it, cleared it. But it's relentless. When the boxes just start flying, they're heavy as shit. And it's just so many. It just don't stop. And it's like, there's not enough people to man the things. So that's too much for one individual. So I cleared it and I walked back off. And then he challenged me because I challenged him because I said, look, what's going on here? I'm getting told this and that. I haven't heard anything. He said, why won't you do what you're told? I said, what are you talking about? Because I'm really direct to people, you know, I don't play. And then, yeah, so I'm saying what you're talking about. And he said, well, I've set you to go there and you just don't do anything. You just don't do it. I said, yeah, I told you I won't do that. He said, why won't you do it? Bear in mind, the reason I wouldn't do it was obviously it was demanding, but I was actually writing my books as well when I'm at home. So I'm trying to balance life. I want to obviously focus on my craft. So me doing that, it's not fair. Like, why should I go home exhausted to the point where you can't even do what you're passionate about? When other people are walking out of the building like laughing, happy, they're not sweating. It's like, this is not fair. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I'm not a mule. I'll work hard, but you don't. That was levels. That was like being treated like a mule. I'm not a freaking dog. So I didn't tell him the book part. I'm not validating shit to him. So I said, what difference does it make? I said, I told you I won't do that. And I said, I don't know what your problem is anyway. I said, just like, apparently can't talk. I said, yeah, everybody's talking. I said, and this guy you've just recently moved to our department. I said, he just walks off all the time. He don't even freaking do anything. And he goes, it ain't about him. I said, well, clearly. I said, he's your pet. And he just walks around the warehouse doing shit. And he just kept picking at what I'm doing. And I was like, I don't know what your problem is. He said, will you go back? Will you go back where I put you? And I'm someone that like thinks, I'm like, I could just walk straight off right now. I'm trying to be as controlled as I can. I'm quite explosive. So I said, well, will I be there tomorrow? Because that's what I'm thinking. I can go back for a minute, but if you put me there tomorrow, I'm going to fucking lose it. So he said, you might be. So I'm like, you tested me, yeah. And I think it was like Thursday, so we're talking about Friday. I said, what about like Monday then? What about next week? Will I be there next week? He said, you could be. Just the son of a bitch. If you think I'm staying here doing that shit, I've already told you I'm going to quit. I said to him, I told you I'm not staying here doing that. I said, right. Because when I went, this was like the second time I'd worked there because I'd left to write my book and then I went back again a year, like maybe 9 months later or something. But I had different team leaders back then. The business had changed. I was on a different department beforehand and I was bored because it was so slow. Like people would love that. If you want to be lazy, that department was great. It was light, and I like I said, I'm bored. My mind just doesn't stop if I'm doing that. It's like I'm not a robot. I have to be busy. So I had to try and get off of their team to go the other one. My team managers, team leaders didn't want to lose me, so they kept blocking me, saying, "No, you're not going." And I had to go round them to get the other one to challenge them. And he come to get me one day. I was working, and he said, "Right, you're with me now." I was like, "Great." And he was all right at first, but then he just turned into a bit of a dipshit. I think what it is, people challenge me because they recognise my confidence and how popular I am. I don't choose to be popular. Like I said, this was the place where people are shouting for me and they're coming looking for me to chat. And like I said, I'm supporting people though, and they don't like that. They try and put you in your place. So I said to him when he said about, yeah, you might be there next week. I said, well, can I go back to my old team then? Like, can I just go back over to that department then? And he said, no. I said, why? He goes, because I need you here. I thought, you are a dickhead. That's what I thought. I looked at him. He could tell I was thinking that. So I thought about it for a moment, because obviously this next decision's pivotal. Like, what do you do next? Bear in mind, everybody else is clinging to their jobs. They're desperate to be working there. This was like, you can get a permanent contract, and that's what a lot of people were hoping for. So they were terrified of like even just missing a day of like work and things, because some people were getting phone calls around that period saying, don't come in today, there's not enough work. And eventually some were just getting laid off. And I was always needed in. So I think one time I got a phone call not to come in, and I was pissed. I was like, if you fuck about me, I'm gonna go anyway. But anyway, one of the guys I worked with who was respected a lot, he went mental. He said, get him in now. Like, get him in, you know. And they shit themselves, to be honest. And they didn't. I don't think they did, but they called me in the next day. That made sure I was in, and I spoke to him about it. And it's quite funny. I said, he said, I've told them to get you in. I don't know why they did that. They messed right up with that one. I said, I wouldn't have come in. I said, it pissed me about. I ain't freaking coming in. He goes, I knew you wouldn't. So he knew my personality. You know, it's like, I'm all about justice. You show me an injury, you show me disrespect, we're done. So anyway, this guy's challenging me, and I'm standing there thinking, you need the money. And I like the guys I work with. I like my team. It's just I don't like this guy. And I'm not doing. And if he's going to put me in this corner place over there where it's really heavy, he's doing it on purpose. You know, he's just trying to bully me, trying to suppress me, get me under control like a dog. That's what he wanted to do. And bear in mind, a lot of people had problems with him, to be honest. Towards the end, like loads of people put complaints. I didn't bother putting complaints. I can't be asked for all that shit. So he said, "Can you go back? Will you go back there?" I said, "No, I'm going home." So I just started walking off, and as he's walking away, but got a good distance, he goes, "Good." I thought, well, that's not really what you wanted to say, though, is it? He didn't expect me to walk off. And bear in mind, I had this agency manager. He's the one that told me that they're saying you need to stay over here. And I was talking to him about it, and he said, "Yeah, I know, but they're not seeing it like that." That's what I was saying about the container thing I was working on, helping everybody. I said, right, but I said they're on their help. They're on there. They're on there. They need help. I'm standing there. What's the point of me just standing there watching? I could jump in and help them. And he's going, yeah, if they're not looking at it like that, they're saying like, this is your department. You should just stay here. But I get what you're saying. It's like, you know, it's nice of you to do that, be supportive and things. But what can you do? I said, I'm going to be honest. This was before I had this argument with that manager. I was talking to him, and even though this dipshit was walking past, he probably heard me because I said his shit when I was talking to this agency manager. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I'm close to walking out of here. I said, I'm getting pissed off. He goes, no, don't do that. We don't want to lose you. I said, I'm going to be honest. I'm losing it. I said, he says one thing to me. I said, I'm like to snap. I said, I can't handle it. I said, I don't like him. I said, he's useless. He's got no people skills. He can't say anything to your face, and he's just a creep. And then he made the point to me. He said, look, we've had no complaints about you at all. He said, so I don't know where this is all coming from in terms of the issues they're having with you at the moment. But we've only heard good things about you, so we definitely don't want to lose you. We've already lost some good people already. And it was only, and I was like, well, I'm going to try. I said, I'm going to try and stay out. I'm going to try and stay away from him, and then I'll see what if I can get through the bloody day. I said, but he's doing me head in. And then it was only like an hour later that situation happened. I've walked off, quit, and then I've messaged that manager guy, the agency manager, when I've gone home. I said, I just quit. And he did actually say nice things. He said, well, hopefully we'll work together again at some point. I thought, well, what are the odds of that? This video's gone a little bit, I know, but it's the case is, it's like, just be yourself in any moment. It's like, don't allow, when you're challenged with people suppressing you or you standing up for yourself, it's always stand up for yourself. Don't allow anyone power over you. Money is the one thing people will lord over you for the rest of your life if they can. That's what jobs do. That's what people do in every part of your life, whether it's relationships. They try to attack is your stability. If they can attack your stability, then they attack you as a person. So it makes you vulnerable. And he knew, this manager, the team leader, he knew that's what he was doing. He was going to say, like, how strong, how confident are you, and how far will you go? He didn't expect me to go as far as walking out. Especially when other people are just clinging on to their jobs, and I'm like, oh, you can go fuck yourself. Because we had this running beautifully, this department. He didn't need to interfere. The team leader I had before him, so he was on the department, but he was on the heavy side, that shitty side I didn't want to do. But my team leader had like COVID, so she was off, and then she got relocated to a different part. She didn't want to go. She was actually quite upset that she got moved to a different department. And I was frustrated because I said, I like you. We get on great. And she's like, oh, but she was firm but fair. And she trusted us to do the job. She knew there was like maybe the team was about 6 of us, I think 6 or 7, but there's like 3 of us that were just really great at what we do, and together we just had it like ticking over all the time. We knew we knew the times to get to most things, like when certain things were happening. We knew the processes of doing it. We knew when to step up and go fast. So we knew when there was a quiet period and things. And it's just it went like clockwork. No one had to do anything. That department was crucial because it was the dispatch department, but there's 2 sides of dispatch. But this was the fastest side, and it was the one that it was really important because if there was issues, it cost them a fortune with the couriers. And yet this jumped up moron, he just wanted to come and interfere with it just to show his effectively someone else, another team leader had joined, and in my opinion, he was just showing up for them to try and show that he's the boss, he's the main one between the two. I just don't know what he was playing at in the end, but it's like you just destabilized the whole thing, because even that guy that stood up for me that time when I wasn't called in, he was getting older now, and I think he was reaching a point where he was saying he's going to leave, so he's probably going to call it quits soon. And I don't know, you don't know. Sometimes you can be the catalyst, can't you? You can leave, and then the environment's not so good, because I've had that as well. When people leave, sometimes it goes flat, and it's not quite the same environment as it was before. And that's that guy didn't need to do any of that. He could have just left it be, but couldn't not get involved. But yeah, see, I was saying I show all my sides. I don't care. People, I can tell all I can ever do is tell what happened. People can look at it whatever they want. I'll always, of course, look at it from my angle. I can always look at it from other people's angles too. But I'm the one living it. But yeah, some people may have an opinion that what you should just do as you're told. You wouldn't have had the problem. If you just followed in line, you'd have still had the income, and you never know what opportunities you might get. Yeah, it's valid. That's valid, but I'm not someone's toy. Effectively, I know how good I am at what I do. I know if I had a desire to be a leader, I could be one, but I had no desire for it. And I think the trouble is these people, they saw the potential I had. I know they do. I have it everywhere. They see the potential I have, and it becomes a threat to them. So they keep you small, or they try to. Because the other day I was getting on with the management, like the other team leaders, on different departments, and I was respected because I knew what I was doing, and I was good with people. So it was only this one moron who had a problem with me. The other team leaders actually liked me. So even after I left, I said to this, I spoke to the agency manager after I left when I quit. I said I quit unless there's space on the other team. I said he said I can't go over there, but I said if they're available over there, I'd consider coming back and working for them, but I'm not working for this guy. But he did actually. The agency manager reached out to my team leaders on the other side, the ones I used to work for. But I knew people were getting messages not to come in because that was the inbound side, which was slowing down. And it was the dispatch thing. The dispatch department, of course, is where your money gets made. It's where your products leave the building. Otherwise, you're just holding it all. So even if the product's not coming in, there's products in the warehouse, for instance. So you would still have people picking it, even if it's not a lot. And then it would have to go out through us. So without us, it just sits. But there wasn't much coming in. Really because the company was going through they have downturns in the seasons. And for instance, they just didn't have the resource to keep bringing loads of stock in. So the money was getting tighter. And then, of course, they don't need so many people inbound. So what the agency manager said, he reached out to the team leaders over there, and they said they would have loved to have had you back. And in any other situation, they would have done. But they can't bring you back when they're having to tell other members of staff not to come in. I was like, fair play. I get it. So that was nice, though, the fact that they said nice things. But yeah, that come to an end. In the end, I found a better paying job later. And that's the thing. Things come to a close. New opportunities open. One door shuts, But it's like, the reality is, though, I just think situations create habits. So, for instance, if I allowed that person to dominate me, then what's to say that wouldn't happen continuously in other circumstances? It's like you allow that trend to set in, and that's what you'll always do. And I won't let anyone do that in my life. I don't care if it's a £1 million deal. I don't care if it's 10 million. I just don't give a shit. It's all the same principle to me. It's all the same principle. If something's not fair, then I ain't doing it. If someone treats me like shit, then go fuck themselves. It's like, I don't care. If someone treats me with respect, you get respect back. As I've shown, I'm a team player with a team. I'm not interested in people that want to challenge me. I'll just shut the door immediately and just say, we're done. It's like, I don't care. I don't see it as a loss. Like I just said, I don't have regrets. So money comes and goes. So I just don't care. It's like if they say it was a big money deal at 555, if the universe is with me on this shit, even if it was a really big money deal and I walk away from it because I don't like it or something, you might think, oh my God, I can't believe you turned that down. That's going to eat you up for the rest of your life. Not really. I'm confident I can get there myself anyway. That's the reality. Yeah. If an opportunity comes, then great. If it can help me quicker and there's an opportunity and it benefits and it's aligned, wonderful. But I have no doubt that I can do everything myself anyway. It's, for instance, my books. I could tout my books around publishers to get in bookshops. I could have done that. I did it with my first book before I started, whilst I started writing it. They were impressed, but they said it's a bit of a niche and they're not sure of the marketing value and things. So, but they said it's, that they really respect what I'm doing and they appreciate it. But, you don't know if it's just words. But I thought, to be honest, the amount of effort that takes, I'm not doing it. I don't need to, I'm not someone that seeks approval. So that goes against me, in terms of like what I want. I'm not prepared to spend 6 months begging someone to listen to me. It's like, oh, sod that shit. 6 months later, I'm already deep into the next one. I haven't got time for this. It's just, that's draining. But yeah, I could have gone the published route. If I thought, oh my God, I need to make $1 million quick, then maybe you go publisher and try and get in all the shops. So maybe I stop what I'm doing and keep going and then start touting everything to the publishers and hope someone notices me and then we can get it marketed. I ain't doing that shit. If it takes me 5-10 years to get there, then I'll get there. I get more royalties per book than I would through a publisher anyway. I get a lot more per book than through the publisher. So it would take a lot more sales. Of course, if it was in the bookshops, you'll probably make that up anyway. But that's the reality. I just do my own. I just beat to the own path. It doesn't mean I'll never work with a publisher in the future. But what I'm saying is a publisher would have to reach out to me because I ain't. And that's just how I am. I'm happy to do it the long road if that's what it takes. But if someone says to me, do you fear never achieving your dreams or something? It's like, no, because I know I'm going to achieve them. So if you said to me, oh, you turned that $1 million deal down, you're stupid. Why would you do that? Because I'm going to make $1 million anyway. It's like, just leave me to it. I'll do it myself if I have to. It's fine. It just takes longer. Some people, they see statistics and they think, oh, the numbers aren't adding. It doesn't make sense. How can you think that? Don't worry about your numbers. Let's see where you are in 10 years. Let's then see where the numbers are at. It's just believing in yourself, and I believe in myself so much that I just can't allow anyone to suppress me. I won't do it. And that's that authentic side of me, I am authentic to myself. I have so much integrity that I just don't care. I have zero regrets for my life. I've done the best I can at a given situation. I've always done at the moral high grounds. I've always done everything with integrity. So the reality is sometimes outcomes aren't how you expect it or what you want. But the thing is, sometimes you can't change those outcomes. I can only deal with the situations that are put in front of me. And that's just how it is. I can't do any more than that. And that's what it is.